All right. We are talking about Kendrick Lamar, his Grand National album, but more importantly, the song Reincarnated. So it's a deeply spiritual song. The song is phenomenal, it's beautiful. It's multi-layered, it's multi-dimensional in its nature and the way that you can study it and break down different aspects of what he's saying, the lives that he's contrasting or that he's comparing himself to, how it relates to the collective society as a whole, culture as a whole. So I give thanks for individuals like this who have tapped into their Christ energy and who have been able to influence the masses in a positive way, or who are helping influence the masses in a positive way. Not Like Us has 180 million views, and that's 1/3 of the population of the US, just about 1/3. And to think about what that means as far as like our ability to truly be conscious creators and to create the reality that we want to live in, to influence other people, to help other people. I like when Kendrick refers to himself as a Christ being, he's encouraging us to do the same. And it's important that we understand that and that we start to study ourselves and we start to listen beyond the music so we can unlock what is in our DNA, unlock what is in our melanin to truly capture these codes and tap into our innate power and move just like he's moving in our own way, with our own influence and our own gifts and our own abilities. We're gonna go get right into it. All right, so this track opens up with him talking about loneliness, a feeling that he remembers from being 4 years old. He starts to state that these issues aren't even something that he's dealt with just in this lifetime, but these are deep-seated issues that go beyond this lifetime. In the first verse, he tells of how he did past life regression and what he was able to learn from those sessions. And I think it's just beautiful that he's sharing this information with us, because I hope to be, a past life regression. I am going to be a past life regressionist and a quantum healing hypnosis therapist. And I'm going to, because I understand these spiritual technologies and I understand how they can help influence the masses. Imagine if you were the person conducting a past life regression session for Kendrick Lamar, or even being his therapist, and the way that people are talking about his therapist on social media. It's almost like you're connected to the product of the work that he creates because of your ability to hold and facilitate space for this individual to uncover these subconscious patterns and blockages within themselves. So it's beautiful that he's just sharing this information with us, and the way that he did it was first off, I think I said it, that Tupac sample. Anyway, he did past life regression. First verse is a life where he's a male guitarist. This individual succumbed to the illness that comes with fame, sex, money, gluttony, drugs. He fell victim, a wasted life. The second verse, he recounts a life as a female vocalist, a drug addict, misuse of beauty, gifts, and abilities. That want of fame and validation led to another wasted life, strung out on drugs. In the third verse, he starts saying, "My present life is Kendrick Lamar, a rapper looking at the lyrics to keep you in awe. The only factor I respected was raising the bar. My instinct sent material straight to the charts." And he's speaking about, and this is where it becomes multi-layered, because it's almost as if he's speaking about this present life as Kendrick Lamar. And he quite clearly in the third verse goes into parallels with him being Lucifer, or him having a very similar experience to Lucifer. And I just read, if y'all want to go on Reddit, I typed in, it's a reincarnated analysis. It says the individual's name is Snide to Tail. And he even speaks about the first verse opening as Kendrick Lamar's perspective as Lucifer, as the devil. Just phenomenal. Anyway, I'm going to get into what I wrote down. Third verse, this life as Kendrick Lamar. He speaks about his accolades, how he is rewriting his past lives. He's clearing karma. He's transcending his karma. This is almost like 12th house energy, that Pisces energy. And Kendrick Lamar is said to have a Pisces moon. The Pisces or 12th house energy, this is where we go to transcend our karma and reintegrate, to become one with our source, to go back to God, right? And he speaks about Earth being a place for rehabilitation. The 12th house is known to rule over rehabilitation centers. Prisons, jails, hospitals are even rehabilitation centers. And if we take a step back and start to look at them from a metaphysical level or a soul level, you'll see how they're literally like a hospital or a rehabilitation center for somebody who's on drugs or whatever is healing for the soul to become reunited with God, with wholeness, with oneness, with homeostasis, becoming back to balance, equilibrium, whatever words you want to put there. Earth is a school. It's a place for the soul to learn and to reunite with God. He speaks about Lucifer paralleling his existence, his soul's journey with God's favorite angel, the prince of the sky. He even goes into the third verse saying that it was pinks, it was reds, it was colors, it was blues, all these beautiful hues. That when I listen to the song, the imagery that I get is obviously the sky, and Lucifer has been called the prince of the sky. All right, I want to make sure I'm like streamlining this flow of consciousness in a way that is effective. If we're looking at the third verse and how Kendrick starts to parallel his life with Lucifer, he starts speaking about his accolade, the things that his ego does to say that he's doing a good job and that he's giving back to his community and he's righting his wrongs from the past. And then God is speaking to him and telling him, I could tell you who you truly are despite all these things. You fell out of heaven because you was anxious, didn't like authority, only searched to be heinous. Isaiah 14 was the only thing that was prevalent. My greatest music director was you. It was colors, it was pinks, it was reds, it was blues, it was harmony in motion. I sent you down to earth because you was broken. Rehabilitation, not psychosis. And then he talks about manipulating man with music. How Lucifer took his position on the earth realm to embody superstars and to use that to incite fear into people. And quite honestly, I'm going to just keep reading what I wrote down. I wanted to stop and read Isaiah 14. It says, Isaiah 14, the verse states, how you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. Kendrick speaks about Lucifer paralleling his existence, his soul's journey with God's favorite angel, the prince of the sky, God's greatest music director, right? Rebelling against your own nature is rebelling against the God within. I wrote here that even God has a shadow side. Both Christ and Lucifer are referred to as the morning star. We are all that Luciferian being that fell from grace, that has come to earth to restore and replenish our soul. We must remember. We must consistently and constantly remember who we are and our purpose on this plane, and use the tools given to us to fulfill our potential and not succumb to the material traps set on this planet to regress our consciousness instead of promote evolution. I'll read that one more time. Kendrick's story is beautiful because he's a musician, so it directly parallels what we know about Lucifer being a musician from the Bible, and his misuse of music manipulating man, inciting fear. Music has been used to, promote lust, to promote murder, like all kinds of wretched things that we're trying to I don't want to say evolve or shift away from on this planet, because that sounds like spiritual bypassing, but music is a divine gift, and if we use that correctly, we're able to promote evolution on this planet. We are all that Luciferian being. All of us have that same parallel, that same story of falling from grace. We have come to earth to restore and to replenish our soul. We must consistently remember who we are and our purpose on this plane, and use the tools given to us to fulfill our potential and not succumb to the material traps set on this planet to regress our consciousness instead of promote evolution. If one person wins, we all win. All it takes is connecting to the God within. We are here to evolve, to unite the world back with God, with love, with truth, and with peace. And this can only come from having an elevated state of consciousness, i.e. Christ consciousness, an anointed or an awakened state of consciousness. That is the only way that we can start to promote evolution as a whole. But if one being comes into Christ consciousness and teaches other people, if one wins, we all win. If Kendrick is able to do it and is able to influence the masses the way that he is, imagine how many other people can shift and evolve and reach an elevated state of consciousness based off listening to his music. Maybe all they need is just a shift in perspective, or somebody to tell them to think about the song differently, right? Finishing off that third verse, he says, "Can you promise that you won't take your gifts for granted? I promise that I'll use my gifts to bring understanding. For every man, woman, and child, how much can you vow? I vow my life just to live one in harmony now. You crushed a lot of people keeping your thoughts in captivity, and I'm ashamed that I ever created that enemy." And on Rap Genius, it says their thoughts, but for me, I hear your thoughts. You crushed a lot of people keeping your thoughts in captivity. I wrote that it is a sin, a wrongdoing to keep your thoughts to yourself. Keeping your ideas, your dreams, your hopes, your ideals to yourself is a sin. Your thoughts, your ideas can bless one person, can help shift and change one person, who can go then to bless 100,000 or to help 100,000 people. So it's a shame, to keep those thoughts to yourself. You're creating an enemy, like Kendrick states. You're at war with yourself. You're fighting with yourself when you're rebelling against the God within. It is a sin, a wrongdoing to oneself to keep your thoughts to yourself, especially when God has told you and shown you what to do with it. Your gifts, your talents, your abilities, that is your ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate service to the Creator, to the Most High, showing God, showing yourself what you have done with the life you've been given. This life is a gift. To have life, to have breath is a gift. Making your life meaningful, doing something with the gift that you have been given, with the abilities you have been given, is the ultimate, utmost gratitude that you can show your Creator. And I promise that I'm going to do everything that God has put me on this earth to do. One thing my brother says often is, the graveyard is the place of buried hopes and dreams, something of that nature. I'm not going to die with my dreams and my hopes and my thoughts and my feelings buried within me. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm happy to have shared this spiritual transmission with you all. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have watched till the end, let me know what you think. Thank you.